4BP Australia. What does it mean? 4BP is our fire brand for our horses and for our cattle, for the station that we own in the middle of Australia, or off-centre to the middle. Other than that, it's a training method. So this training method I devised around about 10 years ago, and I've been working on it for about 37 years, as long as I've been training. Some stage in everybody's life, they've looked across the room in the pub or a club or a party, and they've seen somebody sitting on the other side of the room, and they've just said to themselves, get a look at that. How the hell am I going to get across there and get this girl or boy to show any interest in me? The answer is with your eyes. You look across the room, you catch her eyes, you catch her eyes long enough that she looks at you, and then she sees you looking at her and you look away, and then you look back and she's checking you out and you're checking her out, and so long as you're not staring and not a freak, then one of you will cross the room to say hello to the other. And of course, when you do cross that room, you don't just walk up and start rubbing your hands all over each other. You approach in a gentle manner, you introduce yourself, and then you will start to talk to one another, and then you will get within a close proximity of one another, and you'll start to feel that electricity in the air. You will start to perhaps touch one another on the hand, or the forearm, or the knee, and then before long, as you start to chat and you look deeper into one another's eyes, it doesn't matter where you're touching one another. This is the fundamental of 4BP. When we come to a horse and we put a horse in the yard, the horse is rotating in the yard. And all we do is a simple clap our hands, the horse looks at us, and must give us two eyes. The horse can look at you but actually not look into your eyes. But once they look into your eyes, you then put your head down and you back away as far as you can back away in the yard. So the horse starts running around the yard again, and you lift your hat and you walk forward and you clap your hands. And you clap your hands and wait for the horse to respond. And when it turns and looks at you with two eyes, you back away again. So what you're doing is you're empowering the horse. The horse is trapped, it's in a yard, it's going around, it's trying to find a way out. And every time this joker, me, comes near the horse, he looks at me and gives me two eyes, and of course I back away. So while he's trying to look for an escape route, going around the yard, every time he sees me move, he turns around and looks at me with two eyes. So I'm empowering the horse. So instantly, bang, just like that. Sometimes within 5 or 10 seconds, 35 seconds, definitely within 3 minutes, every single time. The horse will stop running and virtually just look at me, because the safest way this horse knows is to give me two eyes. So he's just staring at me. And he's thinking, I take my eyes off this fella, he's going to come near me. So no matter wherever he moves, and I move, he looks back at me. He says, I've got to keep an eye on this fella. So we start to move around the yard together, and he now feels empowered. He's at the top because he knows as soon as I go to motion, all he has to do is give me two eyes and I back up again. So now that we've got this type of stage set, I can now start to impede on his space. I can now start to come forward. And of course, what's he do? He doesn't turn and run. He puffs up a bit. And he's like, I'm looking at you with two eyes, mate. Come on, back up. And of course, I go that little bit further and I come back again. I say, oh, I'm sorry, mate, I'm sorry. And he's feeling pretty good about himself, but I still have to come forward again. And then I keep coming closer and closer to him until the point where he just says, whatever. If you want to stand right in front of me, stand right in front of me. I don't care. Because he still feels bigger and stronger, and he has the power over you because he knows he can still push you back. And he'll get his nose and he'll try and nudge you back because the eyes aren't working. But in the end he says, whatever, it's just stand there, you humans. And then of course I start to try and touch him. And he says, oh, really? You have to touch me too now? And so he says, he's not worried about me. So he says, go on then, touch me. Yep, there you go, you happy now? Of course the human's like, yeah, this is lovely. And he's still there, and I'm gradually coming up. We're nearly mates at this moment. And then something happens, which is normally I grab him by the cheeks and I start massaging his cheeks and I start nicely, gently rubbing him all over. It's all in the movie. And then he just like that, snap. He says, human, you're a good fella. You and I are good mates now. And here, from this point, he'll do anything I ask. Now this point can sometimes be 7 minutes. I've had a horse do this in about 3 minutes. But generally speaking, 35 minutes to about an hour. Some of the wild stallions that we've had, we've been on their back within an hour and 45 minutes or hour and 30 minutes, riding them around the yard, pulling them in reverse, turning them left and right, sliding off their bum onto the ground, walking behind them, all in 1 hour and 35 minutes. Only using these two items here. A rope halter and a 12-foot ski rope is all we train with. So, it's all in the movie. So the faith that the horse builds in us in such a short period of time is enormous, because the power is to the horse from the moment it walks in the yard. We give all the power to the horse, and it doesn't really matter if it's turning inside out, trying to leap over gates, trying to kick you out through the rails. Within a few minutes, the horse is facing us. Now the beautiful thing about 4BP horses is it's transferable. I can teach anybody can watch our videos and just go, oh, that is so ridiculously simple. Surely there's more in it. So everyone thinks there's got to be more in it. It's not. It is so simple. We have had people here that have not even seen a horse in their life, and 3 days later training their horse in a day. So it is that simple. It's all about the two eyes and mutual respect. You must have mutual respect. So your two eyes is the most powerful part. Clap your hands, face up. The horse turns, you use the eyes, and basically you shake hands, and from there on out there's absolutely no issues. That is 4BP.